is back. We are so excited to be back in Columbus after CWL London ended. Of course, I'm your host, Katie Bedford, joined on the desk, as always, by Nameless, Study, and Pack. How's this side of the desk?
I like it.
Kind of lonely over there, isn't it?
No,
I like my spot now.
Feeling more. I get to stretch out over here, you know, a little bit more.
They had to move you away from me. They didn't want you to catch these hands.
All right. So we've got a lot to talk about before we get into things today, and we want to pull up now our Division A standings, kind of take a look at things, set the stage for what's going to go on here for the next couple weeks of Pro League. You can see it there. Gen.G sitting up on top. Again, I think none of us quite expected Midnight to still be sitting quite that high.
Yeah, Midnight, you know, the way that they ended their week, you know, with a 2-in-1 week fashion.
Yeah.
Just overall, you know, wasn't something we expected out of them, you know, because their original roster was literally the best team at Hardpoint in the beginning of the game. And then they come in with a completely new roster, so I wasn't expecting them to keep pace, but they were able to keep it up and eventually pull out, I'm pretty sure, second or third spot in their division.
Yeah,
so
they're
pretty good.
number 2 right now. And, you know, they started to play really good when Saints, you know, got back to the skill level we know he was capable of. And then Blast had his best week on LAN that we've ever seen, ever. And then they have to go into that next event in London with a substitute player. So we'll see if they're kind of able to rekindle that flame here in a long 2 weeks that they have to, you know, try to maintain that, you know, top 2 spot.
That is very true. Let's pull up now our schedule, what matches we have for today. And kicking things off will be FaZe Clan versus UYU. Of course, named as FaZe Clan's debut in Pro League, now that they are back with us.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch these guys go. I know there was kind of an unfortunate ending to London for them. We may have seen a little bit more of them if they're able to clutch up there. But, you know, going into this match versus UYU, I got my eyes on Celium. I was watching him at the last tournament. He played pretty good. I just want to see what he's able to continue to do here in the Pro League. You know, he did have a couple maps where I think the crowd maybe got to him a little bit, but we know what he's capable of, and you know, even the rest of these guys in this team. And I'm just excited to see what they can do with this roster.
For me, this is a good chance for them to grow as a team, right? They didn't really have any time on LAN like the rest of the teams to actually get that practice in. Now they get to have that. Like, yeah, it's an unfortunate way to lose at London, but now they can come through and get stronger as a team. According to them, they were really strong in scrims, but they didn't have that LAN experience. Now with this LAN experience behind them, maybe they can be one of those top teams going towards Anaheim.
And they have a chip on their shoulder. Keep that in mind. And that's something that, you know, in Zuma's career has always benefited him. Whenever he has that extra just passion to win, it always shows in his gameplay. So let's see what these guys are able to do. Plus, Scraps went to my barber, so I know he's feeling good.
I saw that.
He's feeling good right now.
We saw it right there, FaZe Clan. Like I said, they only been a team for like 2-3 weeks going into CWL London. They ended up with a 2-6 S&D map count, and that's just something you don't really expect when you have players like Scraps and Zuma who have been playing S&D for a really long time, and as well as Celium. Just overall, I'm expecting them to come into Pro League and just work on the little kinks, you know, especially S&D. We usually say S&D win you championships. Obviously, for 100 Ds, it doesn't really count for them, but just overall, they will improve in that game mode here.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see where they go from day 1 here to the end of these 2 weeks. See where they end up. But let's talk about their competition now. UYU, and they've made a little bit of a move. Proto is out and Zaptius is in.
Now here's the thing for UYU. I mean, they went to their last tournament, they got top 12, but they only won one series. So while we know what we get out of Proto, he can be this inconsistent player. So maybe Zaptius can come through and provide some consistency for this team. This team really needs to step up.
Either way, I don't really think the full issue was only Proto. I do think it's good to move Proto out of the main roster. I did think he was the weakest link on the team, but like for example, Royalty at this last tournament, he was one of the worst performers across the board out of all 80 players. So like on this team, I look at this roster and I go, Royalty needs to be a superstar on this team. He needs to be an all-star on this team. Like Methods, yeah, he had his beginning of the season was great, and Mayhem was great, but those aren't players notoriously that are going to keep up a pace like that throughout an entire Pro League. So Royalty needs to be the guy that's either number 1 or 2 on this team. So I got to expect him to step it up. And as for Zaptius, he's just got to go in here and play his game. Don't get nervous and just do what he needs to do and seize this opportunity.
Now, I wonder, Study, we talk about UYU. I feel like it's always kind of what Nameless just said. They need to do better. We never really see greatness from them. I mean, do you think we might be able to see that in the next 2 weeks, or is it going to be the same old, same old?
Well, it all depends. You know, coming off of top 12 at London, only winning one series like Pac-Man said, you can't really expect a lot from them, especially when you're dropping one player, bringing in one brand new player. Like, just fixing one player is not going to be the difference. You only won one series at the end of the day. You have 4 other teammates on the team. So, obviously, it's just probably some internal things between the team that just weren't working. working, probably just some attitudes, just classing and stuff like that. But hopefully Zap is just able to reset that and just bring some good vibes and just something different to the team.
That's true. We did hear that a lot, of course, in Hot Mic, which you just saw, where they said how important it is for players to get along with each other outside of the game. But we are ready now to get things started. FaZe Clans versus UYU with your casters, Ben and Chance.
Thank you so much, Katie. A great way to kickstart our return here to Pro League. London is just a mere memory now, but it still lives on. There's a couple of chats going on in the green room. Miles, Memo, having fun. You'll see them in action later on today. But to talk a little bit about our first game of the day, the desk already talked a little bit about it. UYU, new player with Zap. What do you know about Zap, Chance?
I mean, very little. In all honesty, he really popped up like in the middle of World War II last year. But as far as like LAN experience goes, if you just started a year before and now you're already in the Pro League, not a bad progression you're having. Like, he already has top 16 at Champs under his belt. He got third at the Open event at the past Open, but I would say there's quite a bit of pressure on him, right? Because this is UYU team that has made a handful of different roster changes throughout the year. They still haven't quite found a formula that works for them. And like, part of the issue we were talking about for this team at London was, well, they only have like a couple weeks of experience. How much like progress can they actually make against the best teams in the world? And not a lot. Well, then they take all the experience that they had and they switch it up anyway and have a new roster change. So again, they've only had like less than a week of practice at this point. So it's going to be incredibly difficult for them to have a good showing, at least early on.
Yeah, almost as if maybe sticking with a core group may be beneficial. We'll wait and see. Maybe this is a squad we'll see stick together.
And just to further that point, like, you had an issue with the past team of like they wanted to get rid of Knight that was on the team because the SOG duo, horrible KDs, things weren't going well. But now you get a new SOG, you get a little bit of experience in, but they never gave them time to like try to figure it out. And they just kind of like don't answer their own problem. But when all said and done, you got a new man on the roster, pressure's on. He needs to go big, but early on it is FaZe in the hill.
And just to talk a little bit about FaZe, because we did spend quite some time there talking about UYU. From everything you saw in London, was it kind of as you expected for this squad?
No, not at all, actually. I wasn't expecting him to be very good. Like, nothing against the players or anything like that, but literally 3 of the guys on your roster were coming out of the open bracket. You have short-term practice, 3 guys that haven't been competing at this high of a level, some of them really in their entire careers. I had lower expectations, and they went well above and beyond that. They were looking fantastic. They were honestly looking like a top 8 team is how I would view it, Ben. So I expect them to get even better going on because the desk highlighted it. 2-6 record in Search and Destroy. They cleaned that up just a little bit, and they'll be good to go.
Yep, you're absolutely right. 1 hard point down here in Hacienda, and it is FaZe with the advantage, 27-5. UYU, though, rotate a little early, and, well, they're winning the rotational fights as well. So for FaZe, more than likely going to be spawning out. They're going to have to try and break through the front. It's methods inside the hill with the KN. Close to some streaks as well, bear that in mind, 255. Some nice long shots down, 0 falls, 115 all he needs, and I mean, UYU, not only did they close the deficit, but they could be in a great position because it's not just 1, 2 players now close to streaks.
Yeah, this is the perfect setup that UYU wants to have. When you have players that enjoy playing slow with assault rifles, you get them on this hill posted up, they will just feast on the opposition. The new man on the squad at least is able to get the lightning. And on top of that, this has been a full 60. You got methods inside the hill trying to earn some streaks as well. As good as it gets, he's going to be oh so close to him if he doesn't get the lightning himself. And they got the rotation, and they got streaks that things don't work out, but Zaptius up top, at least slowing the opposition down.
Yeah, he did fall, so no Hellstorm for him, but the new man playing very, very well, and we'll see if that maybe dilutes into the communication. We'll throw it over to an Astro Gaming listening with UYU.
Yep, he's on front.
Watch it front.
Probably hit out front.
Hey, for me, go first.
Feet to go top open. Nothing front. Top open. I'm premiering your left. Just stay down, Matt.
He's weak, nice job.
I'm
To the right, go.
Last
guy's hill. I spawn secret, boys, he spawn secret.
Yeah.
I have a lighting,
Back. I'm playing 10 with you,
Back.
I'm gonna slide out. Wait, no.
We got a turn two.
Yeah, my bad, there's 2 in the back. Yo, you guys gotta get a side.
Front side, I'm weak.
Another one, 2 really weak. Nice, good job, guys. Make sure to swarm.
How do you zoom in? He slid close. All I have is lightning.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the scrap. Let's just play the scrap heavy then.
Yeah, he jumped down on you.
Behind you.
Yeah, he got me. Yo, just play new guys.
They're gonna be top office zones. I'm in deep water.
I'm pushing out your Lambo.
Go for it.
Wait, you spawn there.
Far water, weak. Saw you in the corner.
Play a slide.
You got me.
Slow down, play a slide. Everyone just play a slide.
On your head,
Yo, he's still water. Yo, he is still water.
Bottom water scraps.
Yeah, wait.
I have a lighting.
Yeah. Flood open. Go open. We have garage. You guys get
Two hill.
I'm Lambo.
2 hill. One guy top open. One guy water.
He's water.
Water dead.
Hit it over.
One guy could chance my right.
I'm watching right. I'm watching the right. Zuma's weak.
Guy
Zuma's weak left.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm weak. Play my life.
Another one.
Nice. Good.
Go, Mayhem.
I have right.
Go quick. Trade.
Push to the left.
Water,
Watch
out.
out. Trades. Good job, bro.
I have deep water. Sal's one shot their side.
You can push that open if you want, Sam. Yeah, play that time.
He's dropping. He's A connector.
Just under 30 seconds left of the final hill on the first rotation. It is UYU in control, 87-62. However, the hill currently contested with a kill feed. Looks as if primarily heading over towards UYU.
Yeah, and I would say pretty good job through the comms. I think you heard call-outs like, all right, we can fight for scrap heavy. We get the lightning strike to break for next. He's saying slow down, make sure you stay alive, getting ready to call in. They all seem to be pretty coordinated, as much as you would, well, really expect from any pro league team. And, well, we are to that point of the game where specialists are starting to come on board. And, of course, Zaptius has the Tempest. He's the man I want to watch when he eventually pulls it out. But, of course, he might be a little ways away from that. But solid start for UYU.
Yeah, very good start, considering that first hill. They win the rotational fights, then they get the streaks, and well, what an effect that has had. They have invested everything they earned, though, so do bear that in mind. We won't see any extra utility, at least for now. Back to good old-fashioned gun-on-gun play. 35 seconds left, and again, that rotation towards Lambo is going to be huge, and you can see Zuma already thinking about trying to make the play. We'll have one gunfight. Well, that's just classic Call of Duty timing you've ever seen.
And I think Royalty, yeah, he was playing it slow, trying to let him run past if he did, because Royalty really wants to stay alive in the back, but Asim eventually able to flank as well. So FaZe locked down on the first tilt. They're going to be good for at least, well, early side control over towards Lambo. Still plenty of time for UYU to try to make this break. They got a bunch of players leaning out towards Rock, and it's Royalty that was leading that charge. And, well, Zero, the new ICR on the team, feels pressure coming in the back as well.
We'll see a couple of those fights. Barzilian the first. Tempest is out. That's going to cover the front. The problem is, for Zero, he's got a lot of work to do and doesn't really have that much support. Just like that, UYU breakthrough. Celium's done well to stay alive. Can't find the kill. Down over towards the stairs, and unfortunately for him, he will drop. Luckily, though, Zuma managed to get inside, so for now, FaZe still with control.
And this is a really nice job by Zaptius as well. He picks up 2 big kills, shuts down the Tempest, and he stays alive for his team to come help him out. Unfortunately, once the team gets there, everyone gets dropped at basically the same time. Methods is the last man standing. He gets cleaned as well, so it was a nice moment, a nice attempt. They fought real hard for those back spawns, but they essentially get nothing out of it. FaZe, of course, retakes the lead, bumps it up another notch, and, well, they got Zuma getting close to the TAC 5. They got a War Machine possibly to break next, but of course UYU, they are sitting on all of their specialists.
Well, it's FaZe now with the advantage, 132 to 102, but it's Zaptius that has the Tempest out. This was what you wanted to see, and this is exactly why a player up close and personal. It was Scraps that shut him down, and we obviously heard from UYU. Let's now set up to a FaZe clan. Astro Gaming listening.
Any trophies? Yeah, two plant. I can stun, bro. Need help. He's in the arch, bro.
Twitch over down, bro.
Hold on, Tommy.
No, I'm gone. One shot, one's pinching connector, I think. He's in who? Grab. He's slam, roti.
I got it.
Pinch him, bro.
Did he use word?
No. Make sure
slow streaks.
Small connector.
In the back stab. Watch the very back.
I knew. I right there. I right there.
Make sure we can roar.
I have Lambo.
Are you bottom, Matt? You bottom?
Yeah, I'm bottom.
Popping out.
They're above us, top tiger, whoever that is.
Watching top tiger.
Two Lambo on me.
Say one
Can't get
time.
out. Somebody get out.
I got it.
Take it out.
They're above us, too.
I need help, so he's going to the back. They're both going to the back. Back there. I got
him. Make sure you can roar. What's that?
Nice. 4. They're spawning well. They're going around.
Hold mid.
Yeah, fact.
Free top left. Royalty's on streaks. He's coming towards Tiger T. He's free on time. Spawn well.
Sell big kill. I'm coming out.
He's gonna be free there. They're gonna full deal.
I'm leaving. I'm gonna have help.
Go. Run. Connect the door.
Two rock side, both side, 2 of them. Just one shot. You spawn out, they're pigeon.
Could
be water, jump up.
Right there. Nice.
What's that dead?
Close right.
Water.
That's just absolute their side. Close right, T.
FaZe trying to build on their advantage. The final 10 seconds of scrap looks good to go to them. The lead should be around about 186 to 142 as we rotate into the final rotation. FaZe trying to lock down the top corridor as well, but it's Mayhem that breaks through now. Bear in mind, Zero playing a little slow now, Chance. 170 away from Streaks.
This is a situation, well, for Streaks he might be used to, but having to play a little bit slower, obviously the new ICR on the team, and well, he's going to have a map to try to make something happen. He's waiting for his teammates to find an opening for him, and well, he is just playing hard for this kill. It makes sense for him to do so. Methodz, though, feels the pressure, tries to get away, can't get out in time, and there's the lightning on board. Honestly, still has room for the Hellstorm. He's essentially just letting players run past, so if he finds this next kill, which his teammates are there for the help, they'll be good to go over towards fences. And of course, you got a lead as well. You can afford to play for these. There's the free kill coming in. Get the lightning, get the Hellstorm. You get 20 seconds on board, and your team is getting the rotation to next.
And that's just so well played by Zero. Plays his life, gets the streaks, and now if you just have one good rotation, even if you get the first 30 seconds or so here on Lambo, you're pretty much set. A Hellstorm and a Lightning Striker, near 60-point lead. This should be a game which realistically UYU have no right to win. And that's a fact, you're going to see an investment come through straight away. Zero not wasting any time. Wants to try and end it here.
He's able to find two as well. Players getting forced into water. That's just a free one because Celium, well, had the help if he needed it, which he didn't. Zero's now got the back while his entire team is inside the hill. You're essentially running out of specialists from the side of UYU to even break in. And well, Asim, well, he gets caught with the fist before the grab slam falls, but now you got to flood in a doorway. Celium's here ready to go. FaZe, this is easy kills for him to get, and Ben, they can win it here.
You may see Zero invest the Hellstorm. You may just save it just in case. The Tempest is going to be out. At this point, you can make it rain. FaZe can close it out here. As long as Celium doesn't allow that player from UYU to sneak through. And Mayhem's done well, but 8 seconds is all FaZe need. If that, Zero can now reinforce the hill just in case the contest comes through. Was it enough? Absolutely not. FaZe take map 1.
Wow, this is, I'm used to waiting for like the crowd to get super hype after London, so I got baited into like waiting for the roars to finish. That is old habits. There's nothing here. They're players here.
Sounds a little bit like a library.
A little bit like a library, but that's because there's no fans. We got to get a UK crowd out to Columbus. That's what we need to do, but obviously good game for FaZe. The Hardpoint was probably one of their shining game modes, if at all, with a respawn just in general, and obviously they continue here. Now they have 4 or 5 weeks of practice, plus some LAN XP.
Right, and I think the Des was talking about FaZe's search and destroy. That was one of the things to really work on. Obviously, the comparison study used doesn't always be the case. S&D winning championships, 100 Thieves, prime example of that. But this FaZe squad, I feel like when you look at it, you almost expect them to be good at search, though.
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, you got a guy like Celium on the roster, you expect big things because that's where he makes a name for himself. And I don't know. I know Merc has talked about it quite a bit of like when you have a new team, especially because S&D doesn't get scrimmed nearly as much as anything else, that maybe it takes some players, or it takes some teams, excuse me, a little bit more time to get used to each other in different situations.
And on the flip side, of course, for UYU, I mean, we'll see. Their London performance, very, very disappointing indeed. I think it was, what, just 1 win in the entire tournament. It was to Elevate, was it not?
Correct. They beat Elevate, I think 3-1, and they took a 3-2 loss to Midnight. And honestly, because they lost in a Game 5 and they had the 1 series win, they ended up getting to winners, but then they got 3-0'd and 3-1, and they were out of the tournament. So not a ton of map wins, but 1 series win to at least help them out with the placement a little bit. But Search and Destroy was an issue for UYU as well. I think they were, what, 1-5 overall compared to FaZe's 2-6. So the heavy hitters, the Search and Destroy.
Well, there's a quick glance as well at how map 1 ended. But before map 1 even began, Jess caught up with FaZe Clan Zero to find his thoughts.
Thanks, Ben. That's right. And I actually first opened up the dialogue by trying to ask Zero overall sort of what he thought of how London went. And he goes, I don't want to talk about London, but he did say that it is fantastic to be back here at the Pro League versus UYU. He called UYU one of those, quote, weird teams to play against and said, well, we've scrimmaged against them a handful of times, so we kind of think we know what to expect, but going forward, we're really just trying to improve on our S&D. Over on the side of UYU, I did catch up with their new player, Zaptius, and he actually had something kind of similar to say. Even though he is newer here on this UYU squad, on previous teams he has played versus FaZe, so he did say, I think I know what to expect, and this is going to be a really good game. You know, adding that he does feel he's settling in very well to this squad. So let's see how the rest of the series goes. Ben and Chance, back over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Jess. Definitely takes a little bit of time to adjust, but I feel like it's better to have your chance to adjust here at the Pro League, get a couple of weeks of LAN practice in there, than maybe just being thrown to the wolves at an open event.
I mean, at the same time, though, UYU changes rosters enough that maybe you don't get a lot of time, because sometimes you only take a week and then they go to an event and they're like, scrap it, let's figure something else out. So there is pressure. You do need to overperforming. I think, you know, Zappia's had a solid game, number one, as much as you can when you take a loss like that against FaZe Clan. But obviously, UYU, they want the bounce back, and we'll see what they can provide.
Obviously, we talked a little bit about both teams not necessarily being too strong right now, at least, in Search and Destroy. So with all that said, obviously FaZe come out pretty close game one, but they do take it. In terms of your overall thoughts for the series and how this is going to pan out, are you thinking, you know, maybe now a 3-0? Are you expecting UYU to win a map here? How do you see it going?
I was expecting a 3-0 at the start of the day. Like, before I saw the maps, anything like that, for UYU, it's a roster change that just doesn't make much sense at all to me.
Okay.
And then for FaZe Clan, again, they were looking like a really strong team, or at least like really strong for the place that they came in. With the new roster being formed, they look strong overall, somewhere in the middle of the pack of the Pro League, but we're expecting them to get better. And again, this is the one game mode. If they fix the S&D, they will be a team that will be fierce, that can upset the best teams in the world, that can make a name for themselves as one of the best teams, and at the very least, they get that first blood.
Round number one. Jam-packed collection already, and there's the second kill for FaZe. That makes it a 5 versus 3. Mayhem mid-map, though, thinking about maybe trying to go for a bit of a pitch, and Barzilian's pick may allow him to do so. Barzilian's actually done wonderfully well. He's got himself 2, one of which was the bomb planter, but Mayhem not able to do anything. Methods will fall. Barzilian, it's all down to you, and that's a bit of an unfortunate gunfight he had to take.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough. Obviously, as soon as Barzilian picks up 2, there might have been an opportunity to be like, hey, we got time, the bomb's not down yet, everyone back up, reset, but you can obviously see Barzilian was pushed up aggressively enough that he felt committed. There's some of the kills he's getting. Shooting people in the foot.
Hey,
putting in work nonetheless.
Kill, right? However you get the kill, it's all that matters.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, Barzilian, a good start for him, but UYU very much continuing where they left off for the Hardpoint. Sadly for them, a first round loss.
Well, see how they can respond as well. It looks like a ton of action over towards this A site, and well, it honestly might come down to the first bloods. A little bit of information. I think Scraps is rocking the sniper rifle, but FaZe is pushing up aggressive, so Mayhem, he's just trying to do as much of a dance as he can to stay alive, and while Royalty finds 2, Scraps only able to connect with 1, and I don't even know what he got a hit marker on there. Maybe shot him a little bit through the fence, but still nonetheless, 4v3 for UYU.
All right, Scraps. Show us what you've got. Now slows down.
Try again.
It was close, but gets so far. Bomb will go down. Finally, Scraps goes down as well. So 2v3, but Selim wants to try and be the playmaker. The ICR from 0, not enough. Zap with the double.
And there's good trades there by UYU towards the end. Obviously, credit to, I think it was Royalty that picked up the first 2 kills for the team, but even making sure you got enough bodies and connector going for the trades on the final few players. You love to see it. And despite the 2 kills from Royalty, Zappius with the best play of the round. I think this is where those team shots came in with a little bit of help. Zappius had the man behind him. Oh, he got 2 kills himself, actually. So that is the best play.
There you go. Bomb plant, double kill straight after. Closes out the round for UYU. They tie things up 1-1. Now it's for FaZe. They're back on the attack. The sniper rifle of Scraps was okay. He sadly just wasn't able to find the picks he needed when he needed them. And Royalty 275 away from Strix as well. A nade to use this round. They've swarmed over towards A, but there's no FaZe resources really there. You can see on the minimap, FaZe, they wanted to play over towards B, but they've taken top corridor control, and Royalty's still in a great position to really cause some problems here for FaZe.
But UYU does know what's up. Because Barzilian has already cleared out most of the B side, at least from water, well, they should know what the pressure's going to be, but Royalty actually just comes out into 3 players, can't finish the first gunfight. And Barzilian, well, got behind enemy lines, but maybe a little bit of a lack of information. Asim is able to find another kill, and it just spirals out of control.
And for me, that's so overzealous from Royalty. You're 275 away from Streaks. You have every part of the map covered. You know exactly where they are, and you have a nade to use as well. That round could have gone completely different. There's no reason at all that FaZe, completely trapped, by the way, at the bomb site, should have been able to win every one of those gunfights and escape with a round win. Really should have been punished, because really prior to that, UYU, their rotation was on point. They played it together over towards the other side. They rotated together. They had all the information, like we said, on a round which honestly should have maybe gone a little different.
Yeah, I mean, it was it seemed like it was going to be a good setup, because as soon as Barzilian gets over to Lambo, you know that Rock's open.
Yep.
You know that's where players are going to have to be stacked up, and maybe you have to be worried about your side over towards water, because obviously Asim was in that direction, but Well, nobody's home, so FaZe up 2-1. You got UYU aggressive mid-map coming through the top hallway, and Scrap's looking for a pick, and well, there's the first. He's looking for the second if that player wants to try, but looks like Method's back down instantly.
See him being pushed, but Zuma there for support. And feels like when FaZe do win these rounds, they're winning them pretty convincingly. There's only a couple players left now. Parzili and Methods and Zaptius falls, so it is just 2. And a 5v2. With the experience some of these FaZe players have, you don't really see him throwing it away. But as I say that, Parzili does find another pick. Makes it at least a little interesting, but he's been spotted again. He tries to slide away. Zero surely should have this kill. Parzili drops, and it's a 1v4.
Not the best eyesight from Parzili. I thought he would have spotted the player jumping up top, but tough situation nonetheless. And, well, Methods does get found out, so you expect someone to come hunt him down very quickly because they are, in fact, trying to hunt him down. Scraps down low. Well, the help was there. They pinched him from every angle.
I'm disappointed. I wanted him to see the snipe. The cop out from Scraps. Pulled out the sub and just ran at him. Either way, FaZe. Be happy with that round. Gives him a 2-round cushion, and yeah, Zero is never, ever losing that gunfight in a million years. Apparently, Parzili, the only hope UYU had of winning that round. As soon as he felt, really not much that UYU could do. Now, of course, back on the attacking side, will be FaZe. Are they going to go for that A push? Well, looks as if maybe this round they're going to go for it.
Sticking with the Enver side as well, over towards, well, not the water. It's the more strange thing. Zuma, though, doesn't even need the ICR. He's got the clean shots. He's got, well, maybe a little bit over-aggressive, but stays alive and buys the team time to get behind enemy lines. You got another 5v2 on board. Ben, you said some of these rounds are just dominating from FaZe, and it's looking like another.
Yeah, and that was really well played from the team. As soon as he recognized that his teammate had taken a gunfight, which maybe he was a little lucky to survive from, he put pressure on, and I mean, everyone from UYU falls, and it's another example. When FaZe are winning these rounds, they're winning with a massive numerical advantage. And this is almost kind of the FaZe you expect to see in Search and Destroy. To the point in the conversation we had earlier on, this is a team when you talk Search, there's a lot of talent on this roster.
And it's playmakers as well that they have on their team. Selim's a playmaker, Zuma's a playmaker. So, like, Parzili, just use an example in his own right. He's been good at Search and Destroy the entire year, but he's not the guy that, like, opens up the map for you, right? He's locking something down with an ICR, which is nice to have, but Zuma is a player and Selim is a player. Well, they'll just do some crazy things, play aggressive, flanked mid-map, which, I don't know, just insane stuff in their careers.
One thing we should mention is Zero is 8-2, Scraps 4-1, Selim 3-1, Zuma is 4-1. On the other side, it's getting a little scary. The agency talk may come through as Mayhem is 0-5. Methods has avoided that conversation with 1 kill, 1-5, really not doing too well. That's expected when you're 4-1 down in a Search and Destroy. First blood again goes to FaZe. And of course, Zero with the lightning. He's only going to ping it here. That's going to delay UYU's push and actually may force them away from the B site as well.
Of course, he might end up playing the game. Can Zero earn streaks in every game mode? He's 2 for 2 so far. Royalty, though, behind enemy line. Should have at least 1 free kill. Can clean up Selim, but Selim did find a player before it happened. And keep in mind, you still got the lightning strike if you even need it. But you're probably not going to because Method's in the 1v3.
I was going to say, if Zero uses a lightning here, colossal waste with just 18 seconds left. Scraps knows where he is. Scraps picks up the kill. Game 2's over.
RK7 is disgusting, by the way.
It's very, very good.
I finally started dabbling with it. I used it at the start of the game, and I personally couldn't do it. I was terrible with it. But pros are, you know, the past couple weeks since the last patch, whenever it's been, they've been using it more and more. And yeah, the gun it's filthy.
It's very, very good.
Unless you're not a fan, in which case the Strife is just it's bae.
The dominant secondary of choice for him, at least. FaZe comfortable, 5-1. 2 streaks for Zero, who's had a just wonderful game. 9-2. And here is Parzili, and he said, all right, Chance, you don't think I'm a playmaker? Well, let me try and get that opening pick. Sniper rifle in hand. The problem is, bomb is already over towards A, and well, just as I say that, it's already planted as well. And now you have the streaks. Round's over. Game's over.
You got both of them as well. I mean, I think if anything, Zero, if he really wants to, could maybe play to earn his specialist. But obviously, there's no point. Zuma, 2 kills for him. You got the bomb down. You got streaks. You got whatever you want, including the game number 2 win. Zuma is, well, Scraps tried to
That was
steal the ace from him, but Asim got another kill as well. That was an absolute bloodbath, man. It wasn't even close.
That was very the opposite of close. Extremely one-sided to FaZe. They will take the win. And as I said, a comfortable win at that. 6-1 the final round count. You know, I asked you coming into that map, how do you see the series going? Is it going to be a 3-1, 3-0? Do you see UYU even winning a map?
No.
I think you're probably right, Chance, as it looks. I mean, FaZe, that was a dominant last round. We'll take a look at the final round again. It was the Scuff Gaming play of the game. I mean, it sums it up. Sums up the entire map 2 for me, Chance.
Yeah, I mean, you know the other team has streaks, and you give up the bomb plant for free. Granted, what can he really do? And then Zuma, well, he just shreds in his own right. And of course, even if the players didn't die by Zuma, they still had the perfect setup just to protect Zero towards the back of the map, and just everything went right the entire game. I think it was the second round. Royalty picked up 2 kills to get those first, and other than that one moment, there was simply just nothing from the side of UYU.
Yeah, pretty brutal series, really, to kickstart our campaign back here in Columbus, Ohio for the Pro League. FaZe, they'll take it, though, because they are looking comfortable so far in their series. The Hardpoint was a little back and forth at times, but really, FaZe dominated it there. We'll be back after this with Game 3, Control.
Brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
Game Fuel. Level up the game.
FaZe comfortably 2-0 up in the series. UYU not look good. Chance not look good at all. The Hardpoint, they had to control the first rotation, then FaZe took over. They took map 1, map 2. Yeah, it was bad. 6-1, and now the question is, will we see UYU take that game 3? Gridlock control is where we're going. I guess maybe a better question, maybe will we see them win a round in control?
Well, the best question is, will Zero be able to get streaks in this game mode as well?
I like that.
He's 2 for 2. We'll see if he can go for the 3rd. And, well, Ben, I got a theory about Asim.
Okay.
I'm going to throw this out there that I think he is one of the most creative grapple users in the game.
All right.
I have little evidence to back that claim up.
Okay.
Because obviously we've only seen him at one tournament, but I've seen a little bit from him so far, and I know it's a very specific thing, but he's cool with it. I'm not saying the best, but I'm saying he's up there.
Was there a specific moment that kind of...
It was on a Gridlock Hardpoint back in Toronto where he went from like post to grapple over the 18 to get 18 control, and he did it like 3 times, and I was like, I don't know if I've seen that. That's really cool. And then I started paying more attention. I mean, you know, it's just a grapple. There's only so many things you can do, but I'm cool with it. You can do things with nades as well, including sticking the opposition. FaZe is fighting tooth and nail for this B point, and of course, well, the contest is in because UYU, well, they got to get rid of Scraps, and thought he got stuck for a second, but the trophy was there, but they kill him anyway.
Yeah, the dead slide, a little unfortunate for him, but it will drop, and UYU will be able to capture A. The 3 ticks come through, the minute extension on the clock. The life count even, 23-23. Has FaZe done enough to try and give themselves at least a bit of a cushion here? Unfortunately for his team, there's not just one player there, but there was actually 3, so he's only able to find 1. Has to back away. Zuma's still at the back. Now the pitch is going to come through. Bear in mind, while all this is going on, UYU, they've spawned up, and they've started to push over towards B Street.
Yeah, but UYU is still two players trapped in the back. Eventually, they clear out a seam, but now you got to get through Zero, who, well, a couple players putting on some pressure, but you got Zuma able to find 2 big kills on the back end, watching the flank, and that alleviates the pressure on one end of the map, and now everything's coming from the front. Zero, if he knows how many bullets he has, maybe would have found a kill there, but no love lost.
Such an awkward engagement to explain to your teammate when your teammate's like, I thought you had me. You're like, yeah, I don't know what happened. Felt pressure from somewhere else, but for now at least, FaZe surviving defensively. And we'll see the first tick come through. Now the contest. Zuma patient. 2 players to worry about in front. 1 over towards Sushi. The pre-fire not enough to clean him through. The stun is. Zuma are only able to find 1 before Zero with the team kill, but Zero in the ICR today has been exquisite. There's another double as he looks for 1 more. Contest about halfway through the second tick. And Zero, again, just taking the game into his own hands.
Yeah, those are massive kills for him to be able to pick up, and now he's looking for more, maybe some wall bangs. Asim, though, eventually able to find 2. Trying to wall bang for that next kill. Zero's going to fall. Asim, though, finds 3 on the outtake. 2 different players making 2 big plays, and creative. You talk about creative grapple, well, he dies.
Yep.
He did die right there.
There's only 5 lives left, though, for UYU, and for FaZe, you can slow this one down, figure out where the push is coming from, and stack the side. And you need maybe 1, 2 players at most really watching the flank. Parzilian finds the pick onto Celium. Parzilian with 2. So we said he's not necessarily a playmaker in Surge, but is that the play they need? Absolutely not. Zero has an ICR of his own. He finds a double. 3 lives left. 5 for FaZe. Make that 4 for FaZe. They've got to be careful. You don't want to throw this round away. And Zuma should put the exclamation mark on it. The double kill and the assist on the last player.
And honestly, UYU did play that pretty well, but there was a series of kind of big plays that were coming up from the side of FaZe. I think it was Zuma picked up 2 big kills to watch the flank early on, and then Zero, when he was by himself, ended up not only finding a player through the wall, Royalty, who was 1 shot, but then gets the player that was the next man up for UYU to try to get to the hill, and that just means only 1 body in the hill. You're not getting the tick that quickly, and then his team has time to get back to him, and when his team does get back, Asim went and picked up 3 big kills as well. So nice little string of events for FaZe coming up big when, well, not when it mattered most. It mattered most in that specific round.
Sure did. FaZe now, your turn on attack. Nothing's going to go B Street, so it's going to be Mayhem and Parzilian for UYU. They may have to either track back or go for a very quick flank. UYU, though, don't want to concede it off the rip. They're going to fight for it at least. As Rosie slides out, that's the trade onto Zoom, and now a couple more there as the zone gets contested. You can see the intent from Royalty, but Again, maybe a little too quick, it seems.
Well, he had Methods there that was watching out for him, and Celium just happened to kill Methods at the same time. And then, well, his gun was up and ready, so just unfortunate trades from really either player coming out for UYU. But when all said and done, they have progress over towards Zay, and that's FaZe, of course, who get the point, have a 3, make it 4 life advantage, and a lot of pressure on the flank.
3 players from FaZe, in a pinch. The big saving grace here is UYU have Mayhem looking for some spawn kills. He was able to find 1, which may have just actually been enough to stop the 2 players from FaZe pushing down towards B Street. There's Mayhem back at it again. Unfortunately, though, his teammates not really having too much success. FaZe have swarmed UYU. Spawn, that's a gunfight. Zaptis has to win. It gets scary, but he is able to win it nevertheless. However, again, the life count in FaZe's favor. Just 3 for now, but 19 to 16. And you also have 0 close to streaks. This could get scary.
And just looking for him, but he is by himself. It looks like Zoom is going to be the guy that maybe comes in, baits for him a little bit, tries to help him out. But on the front end, you got FaZe trying to push through. They take down Royalty, so the front's open. Zoom is here as well. Again, trying to bait for 0 all the way around back. And honestly, these might just be free kills for him. He should have 1 right in front if he wants to take the shot. There it is. 50 away, and he gets the lightning. Waiting for some of the spawners to come in. Unfortunately for him, his team has died on the front side of the hill. But still, just needs 1 more kill, and he cannot get it. No streaks for 0.
And he needed more pressure, really, to come through at the front side of the hill there. Just to distract UYU at least a little bit. It's not necessarily all in sync or able to do the push. Methods instantly uses the TAC 5. And now UYU actually with the advantage. 2 lives, 12 to 10.
This is the bread and butter of this UYU squad. You got ICRs that can post up. This is what Parzilian and Methods love to do, just be anchors on the map, and if you can get the streaks, even better. 125 off for Methods, and well, he got more pressure coming on the flank, but I think Parzilian, because he was healing, I think he knows the pressure's there, but apparently not. Scraps shoots 2 players in the side. This is the opening. Asim use the grapple to get up to take Methods down. 5-man wipe everybody on this B point.
He takes it relatively quickly here. Unless, you know, everyone dies just like that. And now the life advantage is back in favor of UYU. Heavily in favor. Now it's at 3. As everyone from FaZe taking fights on the hill, which maybe they didn't necessarily have to. They wanted to push through. They wanted to just put the final nail in the coffin. Not going to be the case. Mayhem first in the hill for UYU to defend. 6 to 3. FaZe have to do a miracle. Can they do it? Mayhem's still in that corner, and of course, Zero's going to know about it. That about sums up his performance. This series as a whole, nearly with the double. Celium for the 1v4. Makes it a 1v3. The quick push comes through, and that round is over. UYU level it up.
Yeah, and I would say that's a bit mismanaged from the side of FaZe. They got a 5-man wipe, and granted, they only had 3 bodies near the hill. But if you got 2 guys with 18 control, you cannot both die at the same time, because then, well, 1, you lose 18. That makes it incredibly difficult for the players behind you to even get towards the hill now, because it just opens up that power position, and then you only got 1 guy in the hill racking up any bit of time. So great job to get there, but not a great job of staying alive, and UYU will be happy with it.
Sure will. Nice round from them. A good way of just kind of staying composed, keeping this one close. They go back onto the attack now. Of course, in the first round, they flew straight towards A. FaZe gave it to them. Maybe FaZe expecting a B push here. They've sent 3 players. I don't have anyone there, and Royalty grapples instantly in, and Asim says, nope, I don't want any of that. He backs away, and FaZe looking to set up more of a little bit of a trap here. But Royalty with the grab slam could definitely use that to escape.
Yeah, quite a few specialists on board as well. You got Tempest on the side for Zaptius. Mayhem's getting close to his. Zoom has the TAC 5, which he's going to use here. And, well, Scraps is getting close to the War Machine, so we're about that time. And FaZe going to trap the opponent inside the point. But they are able to pick up a couple kills, but UYU just looking on some clearance to start making moves.
The problem FaZe are going to have are those new players from UYU off spawn. Scraps was able to find 1 before he was forced to concede spawn control. It's just a 2-life advantage. And Scraps finds another and escapes. FaZe now is really swarming forward. They've done the hard work. They've really cleaned out showers, so they have UYU exactly where they want them. And this is where you can do a ton of damage as the kill feed all red. FaZe just constricting UYU to the back of the map. The lead at 5 now. in terms of lives. Nassim not checked his corners, and he will pay the price.
Yeah, Royalty finding a couple big kills for his teammates. Zero, though, can just see through walls with that X-ray vision he doesn't actually have, so definitely not hacking here. But he is creeping up on the vision, which will make that even easier. And, well, you just have FaZe going for full control, just trapping their opponent near house towards their base. And this is now a 7 or 8 or however many kill life advantage. FaZe is completely taking it to him.
Yeah, I love the way that they strategically took over showers just to make sure that no one could push through. Then they were patient. They played their lives. They made sure that they were not traded out. As a result of that, the lead 9 lives now. With less than a minute to go, Asim has recognized, well, hold on a minute, you guys aren't having much action at the front. There's probably going to be players now pushing through showers, going for the flank. Zoom is ready to pick it up. That's 2 for him. Asim is still there. Zoomer and Zero both full, but again, the life count now is so big for FaZe. There's no way in hell they lose this. Creative.
Trying to get creative. Got the overpass up top, you know, things a little bit different, but Zuma just main slayer in the lobby and Celium winning gunfights that don't even look that easy. Granted, he had power position, but not first shot, but you have a 12 life advantage. There's no way you lose it. Now, of course, you don't want to burn the specialist. You just want Zero to get close to his and maybe scrap some streaks as well because he's on a 5 spree, but of course, his teammates have kills too.
So this round's over. Now, if you're FaZe going into the next round, how do you try and use your specialists to close it out? Do you use them this round, or do you wait for maybe around 5?
Honestly, it kind of depends on the play they want to make. Because you don't have the vision, it makes it a little bit difficult to go towards B quicker. And when you have a grab slam, you're thinking, okay, we can just get this A point for free if we want. Just try to make the big play. But at the same time, the opponent knows it's there. Do they want to commit over to the site? So it's a mind game situation. You could try to make a play at either one, but what do you expect your opponent's going to do?
Oh, we'll wait and see as we see the best play of this round came from Zuma. One of many double kills, I felt. That's something that you can say throughout his entire playing career. Never just one kill. He always seems to be a nuisance in his respawns, picking up doubles back to back. But advantage FaZe, 2-1. Now on the attack, and again, it's going to be an A stack, and Scraps is close, 150 away from streaks. If there's no trophy systems, could even just go for that war machine just to try and guarantee the streaks. And while team kill comes through, that's only going to help Scraps on his mission to secure streaks. So 100 points all he's going to need. If he gets the cap here, he gets the streaks.
Yeah, I think UYU might kind of know because they are trying to flood through the front, but they are finding it very difficult. But there's the opening. You get 3 down. Scraps still with the war machine, just looking for any kill he can find. The flak jacket protects him, maybe a trophy thrown down after. Now you got Mayhem going on flank. He's behind everyone. You need to kill Scraps first. There's Zuma. Scraps, I think, is still alive. He finds Mayhem. The one man he needed to kill, he could not find. But at the same time, the play was made. You get another wipe, you stop the cap from coming in, and you're still in a solid spot, at least for the round.
I think Scraps will be really happy with how that played out, though. Just his ability to play his life there and make sure that even when he was getting flanked, he stayed alive. Got the important kill. Now the split push pressure coming through. Zero almost managed to find the pick turning on one of the UYU lads there, but it's Selim in the hill. And, well, with temper shots like that, you're not going to get any progression over towards B. A has been capped. 2 life, 3 life advantage. And, I mean, you just have so much utility now.
Yeah, I was about to say, they're popping the vision as well. Maybe it could have timed it better to use the Tempest with the vision, but either way, they got it, but they don't have the kills. UYU clear out their base. They basically win every gunfight. Well, Celium's the lone man inside the hill. Doesn't last very long. The lightning strike shouldn't find anything. It doesn't. Asim gets grab slammed himself. This is spiraling out of control, albeit though still a tied game in life count. But FaZe, that is a huge investment for them to not get anything.
And one thing you cannot allow is Royalty to get streaks here. 225 away. There's a player right outside, and well, the grab slam comes through. Royalty goes down. The Hellstorm was hovered. Now progression can start to come through, but it was this exact situation FaZe found themselves in on their last attacking round, and they threw it away. The second tick almost through, but again, UYU with the kills.
And Asim fell as well, so you don't have the grab slam. The big playmaker specialist is going to be out, so that player forced to back up FaZe. They have to reset. And another opportunity that just kind of, well, it doesn't get tossed away. The other team used a vision pulse, which makes UYU's kills a little bit easier, but doing a very nice job to stay alive.
But you have 2 ticks. You have 2 ticks and you have 60 seconds. All the specialists pretty much gone from both teams. Players getting close. You may see him in around 5 if we go that far. Now it just comes down to how does FaZe want to attack this B zone? 3 players trying to put pressure on the flank. Royalty scrambles away. However, Scraps does drop. The life advantage just at 1. A flurry of trades, and it's a 6v4. UYU in trouble.
And it seems the man, he just got to cause problems, right? Find any scrap kills if you can. There's the first on Mayhem. Make it a 6v3, and well, now his teammates are picking up kills. They're about to get this B point. UYU's got to flood in, and they can't get there in time. FaZe, welcome back to the Pro League with some new guys on the squad. They get that 3-0 oh so quickly.
Yeah, nice way for them to start their next couple of weeks campaign. A comfortable victory over UYU. And UYU, they showed some good life there in the respawns. Not so much the search and destroy. That one definitely a bit of a whitewash. But even there, in that control, they made it close when maybe they shouldn't have been allowed to do so.
Oh, interesting moments nonetheless in control. Thank God it's more competitive than that search and destroy was, because it gives us something to talk about. But I guess business as usual, what we expected maybe from FaZe, because they had a pretty strong showing at London, even though they ended up only getting top 12. But we expected them against UYU. We'll obviously make that roster change, less than a week of practice. This is a win that they should have got.
So let's say now, FaZe, they keep on improving. Where do you see their ceiling?
That's actually a great question. Again, like, I was low in them when they first made this roster. I was thinking maybe they'll be all right. I don't think they'll get run over, but I didn't have high expectations, so it's kind of tough to say, because the more and more I see them, the higher and higher I kind of put them up, but still I think dabbling in that top 8 range. Until I see more, I'm not going to put them up much higher, but a lot of COD left to play this week.
Oh, there's a lot of COD to play just overall. I mean, you look at exactly how many events we have left, plus all the cross-divisional games, plus the normal division games. We'll have a pretty good kind of intel on where we'll place FaZe come maybe COD champs, for example. But that's everything from myself and Chance. We can send it over to Jess for the PlayStation Instant Reaction.
Thanks, Ben. So before this match, you said that UYU were kind of a weird team to play against. What did you mean by that?
Just a weird team. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, every pro player knows what I mean when there's a weird team. It's just like a bogey team that's like, they can just show up and beat you. Like, that's what I mean by a weird team.
So was there any part of you that was expecting to just come in and 3-0?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, my team's like really, really good. Like, everyone knows it in like terms of like in the public eye. We have 5 Unreal players, 2 new players that just got the fire. The only thing we lack in is S&D, and we're just trying to get better and better and better at it. So.
Great. Well, was there anything else besides that? Because you did mention the S&D to me before. Was there anything else from either this match or from London that was revealed that you would like to work on going forward?
I feel like we're a really strong respawn team. Our Hardpoint just needs like touching up. We're Unreal at control. I feel like we're one of the best teams in control. Hardpoint is just, it's a bit weird just because we're a new team and we're just trying to figure out what's best for us. But other than that, literally S&D is our main focus right now.
All right. Well, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Katie, take it away.
Thank you so very much, Jess. And there we have it, a rather quick 3-0 there, FaZe Clan over UYU, and a study that was not necessarily the best showing from UYU to kick off this division.
Definitely, you only won 1 series coming from London, and then you come here, you don't win a map. Obviously, you got a fairly new roster, but this match for them was just like, we know what our matchups are, and this team is obviously just out-talenting us. Honestly, when I was watching the Hardpoints, they just weren't winning gunfights. Their teamwork didn't look good in S&D, and obviously they won 1 control round, but just overall, FaZe was just shooting a lot better than them.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, even in the search and destroy, right? Like, we saw, a couple team pushes come in for UYU, but a lot of times they were losing gunfights in those one-on-ones, and that's just the teamwork. Like, right there, we see 2 players sort of sprint out there, and they get set up in that sort of trap by FaZe, and the teamwork's not there, maybe the confidence as well, and then the teamwork is absolutely there for FaZe as we see them trading out in every single round. And they said they want to focus on their search. They do that. They win 6-1, and they look great throughout the series as well.
Yeah, that's also a positive for FaZe for sure, right? So they get to have this 2 weeks of search and destroy practice. That's what I call it. The respawn is strong. Now they can come through these 2 weeks, work on that search and destroy, and try to become one of the top teams moving forward. UYU, on the other hand, they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board completely. They just looked like they just looked out of sync. Yeah, they were getting out-talented, but in this game, we've seen, like, with the old Midnight roster, if your teamwork is on point, you can compete with anyone.
Yep.
Their teamwork's not there. Yeah, they just picked up a player, but without that, I don't see how this team's gonna be able to compete moving forward, like, throughout these 2 weeks. It's gonna be tough if they don't get that together.
Yeah, because teams are getting better and better and better and building upon what they already have. And whereas FaZe, all they have to do is work on their search and destroy. UYU has to start from the ground up, especially having a new player as well. So definitely a tough situation to be in.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have continued mediocrity the entire time. They're going to need to improve, and one of the reasons why is because coming up, our next big event is going to be CWL Anaheim.
Ooh.
See it on your screen, June 14th to the 16th. We are very excited. I can't wait, but again, a lot of these teams are certainly going to have to step up if they want to compete there.
Absolutely, and there's going to be a lot of people there. Anaheim always,
Anaheim's the best.
It always breaks records for the amount of people that show up, and you know, I just hope those people that do show up start to get loud and get crazy. Like, we need to bring some beach balls there and throw it around. We're in Cali, for God's sake, right? Like, we have beach balls flown around in London, so get hype if you're going to Anaheim. Get excited. Get some chances.
Well, does Ben ever get in the stands like he did in London when he's here?
He does.
He's kind of American now, so.
No, we got to make that.
do it.
I mean, we need it. That crowd, again, was just absolutely fantastic. So we want to see that fire from North America. We know that you can do it, certainly. But again, you won't want to go anywhere because coming up very shortly, we are going to have our final match of the night, Gen G versus Optic Gaming. If you did miss it, FaZe Clan starting strong with a 3-0 over UYU to kick off this first week of Pro League. But we will be right back.